The year is 1997, and under the heat of the July sun, the waves of the Atlantic Ocean lap against an oceanographic trawler, the Ocean Wrestler, currently several hundred miles east from the Bermuda Triangle and alone on the horizon. On the weather deck stand four searchers, the sea breeze filling their lungs as they pose for a photo. Behind them, a specially constructed, toughened submersible designed to operate under severe and abnormal conditions, ideal for their purposes. Standing proud in his boots is Greg Blower, the financial backing behind this historic adventure, the sweat congealing on his brow as he suffers the infernal heat. Behind Mr. Blower is Simon Creek, officially Mr. Blower's bodyguard, unofficially the good-for-nothing nephew. Then, the enigmatic Helen Milton with her alert scientific mind, educated in the top colleges in the country. Finally, Professor Caldwell, world-renowned archaeologist, considered to be a fruitcake on the hunt of a lost cause by many in the archaeological community, but in his heart and mind, he knows the many clues and legends he has followed will prove true in the end. The four enter and seal the only exit to the submersible. The tension in the air is thick, and as the professor checks the oxygen pressure levels, the winch is started up and the submersible is slowly lowered into the deep, murky Atlantic Ocean. The search for a mystery hidden by the sands of time has begun. This is the search for Atlantis. Atlantis, a myth known around the world as the city which was sunken by an angry god. Many have searched for it and failed. The lost city has hidden itself well from the prying eyes of the world. As the submersible descends fathom after fathom, Helen watches the instruments act quirkily. It started with a twitch here and there, then some unbelievable readings. Looking at his chronometer, the professor smiles to himself. A quick warning about an abnormal magnetic field puts Helen's mind at rest, but agitates Mr. Blower and confuses Simon. It happened so slowly they almost didn't notice. At first it was just a little dim and warm. Then as the sleek yellow submersible continued into the magnetic field, it got brighter and brighter and warmer and warmer. Then Simon noticed a fish, a big fish, a glowing fish. He pointed it out to the professor, who smiled and said it was a prophetic dolphin, reciting a passage written by Christopher Columbus, who spoke of mystic glowing creatures making ethereal noises and guiding them through dangerous waters. It took just a second for the professor to decide the path they should take, and as the dolphin began to swim further into the murkiness, the professor told Helen to use the dolphin as their guide. This drew more than a raised eyebrow from Mr. Blower, who was expecting a well-choreographed scientific mission. He wasn't expecting this. Guiding the submersible through the silence of the seabed, leading them right to the center of the magnetic field, Helen watched the radar as many other curious dolphins began to surround them. Helen smelt the burning electronics of the guidance console and knew they were going to crash. The submersible shook violently as it made contact. Everybody was thrown from their seats onto hard, unforgiving surfaces. In the dim light from outside, Mr. Blower searched for his cigar lighter, constantly muttering insults at the professor. A hull-ripping creak shuddered through the small craft as it finally came to rest. Simon found Mr. Blower in the darkness and helped him to his feet. Meanwhile, the professor was both thanking and praying to the gods. Helen piped up with a status report, her fingers trying the dead controls to no avail. Most of the electrics were gone and the hull was taking on water. Then the professor suggested she should try the outside lights, as they had their own power supply. There it was, the professor's holy grail and Mr. Blower's unique business opportunity, Atlantis. In London, several days later, and in the middle of a snowstorm, a newspaper editor waits. Kendall, you look exhausted. Have all those football matches you've reported on finally got to you?
Not really. It's actually a great job.
I see. Well, you remember a couple of weeks back you said you really wanted to be a serious reporter. Well, now here's your chance. I'm sending you to the Caribbean to find a missing professor. It's a top story, and I know you won't let me down.
Well, Did you say the Caribbean?
Yes. It seems Professor Caldwell went there recently, but since then, nobody has heard a thing from him. You may remember that he came into the office a few months back, claiming he was onto the biggest archaeological discovery of this century.
Chief, I'm happy doing the sports reviews here in snowy England. The Caribbean sounds great, but this is a job for a more seasoned reporter. Isn't there somebody else you could send?
Now, Kendall, I think you're underestimating your talents. I've seen something in you which only the best reporters have. I think it's about time you went on a serious report. You're wasted on the sports section. This assignment will hone your skills. All expenses are paid, and you're free use of the company's plane to get you wherever you need to go.
You want me to fly in that rust bucket across the Atlantic? Forget it!
It's not so bad. Here, take this rum. Have a quick drink before you take off, and you'll be out like a light. You'll find that she'll hold together once in the air.
Are you sure you can't get anybody else to do this?
I'd go myself, but I'm working on this ancient languages piece for the next issue. It's fun for an old connoisseur like me, but you wouldn't appreciate it.
The Caribbean, I'm beginning to like the sound of sun-swept beaches and...
Bye, Kendall. Go find me that professor.
Bye, slave driver. Oh, I mean, Chief.
A clever trick turning the employees into alcoholics so they forget being exploited. Besides, it's a cheap brand, which comes as no surprise at all. My dear Pass, it's opened so many doors for me, amongst other things. Half empty, of course, or as the editor would say, half full. Don't really need this. Oh, look! Here are the chocolates we gave him on his birthday. I don't really want the last couple of almond ones. Yuck! It's hard to say which is fatter, the dog or the editor. I'll bet the editor wanted a St. Bernard because of the little keg of brandy. This time you won't be able to talk me round, however hard you try. Wow! Those are a real historical find, probably from the beginning of the century. Let's see. Nothing that I can take? Only crime, business, and world news. No football. Way to the outside world. A quick taxi ride. I'm at the airport. This would be the infamous lady painter of the Caribbean. I think I expected someone different.
Excuse me, ma'am, but what are you painting? From here you can only see the fountain, some buildings, and a couple of palm trees.
Don't call me ma'am. Call me Judith. Old Aunt Judith. World-renowned psychic painter.
Okay, Aunt Judith. And what is it that you are painting right now?
I'm painting your future. But this is not the time to ask questions. You're a good-looking young man. Don't you have a girlfriend?
You're the psychic one. You tell me.
It doesn't work that way. Why don't you do something for the old legs of Aunt Judith?
Okay, sure. What do you want me to do?
Go and fill up this little pot with clean water. You see, I can't wash my brushes with this dirty water.
Okay, I understand. Well, just give it to me, Aunt Judith, and I'll see that you get some clean water.
Good. Thank you.
Have you seen a strange-looking English guy around here? Well, he's a scientist and probably came here with a lot of equipment, doing some research.
If I'd have seen such a man, I wouldn't have missed a dinner opportunity. Dear, I've seen nobody like that.
Okay, thanks anyway.
This stuff really stains. I've got to be careful not to spill it on anything valuable. Something's not quite right here. It reads, I'm on spiritual retreat. For urgent messages, write to Postbox 335, Hotel Splendid, Bahamas, your loving priest. Since when was the Bahamas a spiritual retreat? It's a big, strong door. I can't open it. It seems to be locked from the inside. Simple door. It isn't very difficult to force this lock. This hammock is very tempting. It looks really comfortable. I better not. If I lie down, I'll fall asleep. An old dirty mug. It's been very worn, and it's got a piece of cloth missing from the one sleeve. It isn't good enough to wash the floors with. Forget it. This rock looks like a good place to sunbathe. I'm no strong man. The rock stays where it is. Ah, what a relief. A little fountain. I think I should try using the tap. Knob is missing. There's only the pin, and that's square. Without the knob, it's impossible to use. What a beautiful map of the village. I don't know what to do with it. No parking. It's a real antique. Who knows where he found it? I didn't know gum trees were on the island. There are dead insects trapped and stuck to the tree. Selection of tasteless junk. Old junk. He doesn't look very friendly.
Excuse me, friend. Is it possible to visit the museum?
Certainly, if you pay for a ticket.
Why did you leave your old wreck right here?
Old wreck! This is a classic Mustang. You just can't find these cars anymore.
So, how much is an entrance ticket?
$2.
Nothing concerning football. What a hodgepodge. What is it supposed to be? What a hodgepodge. What is it supposed to be? What a grim face the pirate Mancuson had. If this portrait is a good likeness, he really was scary. Look! Viva the South Wind! That must be his motto. The needle points east. The inscription says, "Here the pirate Mancuson placed his compass as an everlasting memory of his first heroic boarding." A bit of a megalomaniac, this Mancuson.
Who gave you permission to touch? This is ancient stuff. If everybody touches it, it won't be long before everything is ruined.
Nothing concerning football. What a hodgepodge. What is it supposed to be? There's a motto carved on this shield. Viva the South Wind! All ancient and decaying artifacts. I bet this thing made one heck of a bang. Hey, this is the same cloth as the torn jacket I saw in the bungalow. Doesn't help to pull it. It's stuck in there tight. All ancient and decaying artifacts. All ancient and decaying artifacts. I've never seen so many ancient books in one place before. There's nothing I can use here. I've never seen so many ancient books in one place before. There's nothing I can use here. Judging by the dust and its general condition, I'd say that it's a very ancient book. Hey, there's a letter tucked inside. Hey, there's a letter tucked inside. It's signed by the chief of the governor's guards. It seems to be a service report. Let's see what's in there. After 3 days of strict siege, my men managed to penetrate inside the fortress, forcing the barricaded doors. However, inside there was no sign of Mancusan pirates. They vanished again, using means which may resemble sorcery. Interesting. From here, it should be possible to see the entrance to the museum. Look, you can see the curator's rickety old car.
Hey, what's happening? Oh no! My precious little car! Damned hooligans! My poor little thing! Don't worry, Daddy will clean you.
It's probably better not to disturb him. Seems to be the professor's handwriting. If I can make out this terrible handwriting, I think it reads, "Maybe Simon is a fool, but he's strong as a lion." Who is this Simon? With his bare hands, he tore up the headstone from the floor. The church, and under it was the missing key. I can't read anything else but a musty passage to an ancient tomb. Judging from the handwriting, this seems to be the professor's notes. The back of this sheet is blank. What a strange idea the Mexicans had to put a squared hole in the middle of their coins. What a strange logic the Mexicans had to put a square hole in the middle of their coins. It's just bizarre.
I heard that once there was a pirate called Mancuson sailing from here. Do you know anything about him?
Oh, they're old tavern stories. You don't believe that stupid stuff, do you?
But what about all the evidence in the Castle Museum?
It's probably all fabricated as a tourist attraction. I don't believe in any of it.
What a strange lock to put a square. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time.
I think I should try using the tap.
Now it's full of clean water.
I'm not even going to try that.
Here's your pot of clean water.
Thanks, kid. If you ever need your auntie, you can count on her.
I'm not even going to try that. Nothing but junk. A metal net. It looks very strong. This rust bucket is taking on water everywhere. I think this is what is meant by an old sea dog.
Hi, you getting some fresh air?
What do you want, son?
Well, I'm interested in the local sites. I'm a tourist.
Well, I'm the man for you. I know everything about the island.
I've seen an English professor with his assistant around here.
You're American, aren't you?
Yes.
These islands are becoming fashionable for you guys lately. Before, nobody came here, but now,
What do you mean?
not too long ago, a strange guy came here. English for sure. And he was looking for something. He was asking a lot of questions. He was looking for trouble, and he found it.
Such as? What trouble? What else do you know?
I know that you ask too many questions for a tourist. Take a hike. I'm busy.
Please, just tell me where he went. It's very important.
Who knows? I don't need this hassle.
I feel like telling me some of the tales about the pirate Mancuson.
Tales? This is history. Once the pirates ruled these islands.
Interesting.
My brother and I are the last descendants of the ferocious Mancuson. Look, kid, I got the pirate's tattoo on my arm. There are only 2 of us in this world that still have it. Me and my brother, Tobias, also called Black Sheep. Blast him.
Well, you don't seem very friendly towards your own brother.
The betrayer stole my life savings and ran away with my map to look for Mancusen's treasure. I saved every penny to go myself in search of the treasure when I retired. But you see, blast it.
Oh, come on, don't think about it. If he finds the treasure, I'm sure he'll send you a check. Show me your tattoo.
Cool, isn't it? Only members of the gang could have this tattoo done. A white dolphin with the secret motto, Viva the South Wind.
What does it mean?
If I tell you, it wouldn't be a secret motto anymore, now would it?
That's true. I read a strange letter in the museum. It said that the pirates always managed to escape capture. How do you explain this?
Their chief, the famous Mancusen, was the most astute and cunning of all the pirates.
Why the most astute?
There are some very good stories about him and his voyages. The governor, trying to capture the pirates, turned yellow because of the jaundice he got from being angry. They used to call him Don Canary.
But how could Mancusen escape every time?
This is still a mystery. They used to go inside the fortress, which is now used as the museum. And puff! They disappeared. Whoever tried to reveal their secret was always found, hanged by the tongue.
Yuck. He wasn't playing around, old Mancusen.
Well, you asked me about the English professor. Here's what's left of him. Keep it. It's a souvenir of the dear, curious professor. He lost it while I was taking him and his assistant to the oceanographic ship off the coast of Bermuda. I wouldn't know what to do with it.
A magnet. It seems to be very powerful. I wonder what I can use it for. Excellent. Now the pointer has moved from east to south. It looks like an old rag, but maybe it can be useful. Those are old jute bags. There's nothing interesting here. Better be careful. It's still very sharp, even though it looks extremely old. Wait a second. This book has a royal emblem on it. Let me see. Wow! This is a manuscript of Christopher Columbus's travels. Interesting. Let's read it. We are in an unknown and mysterious sea. The compass turns on its own, and In the night, the crew gave the alarm after seeing strange shining fish around the Santa Maria. Our position on the charts, 30 degrees latitude and 70 degrees longitude. I'm sure the professor also read those notes, but why leave them here? These are the trunks they used on the old sailing ships. I can't open it. The locks are completely rusted. It's a cabin trunk from a ship. An ancient parchment. I don't understand. There's only this big M on the bottom. Maybe it's the initial of the pirate Mancuson. Pile of moldy rags that smell really bad. I've no need for these smelly things. An ancient parchment. It seems to belong to Mancuson.
Chief, how much will you charge to take me? Look, I've got a map.
Nothing.
Wonderful. Let's go right now.
You didn't understand, son. Nothing, because I won't take you there.
But your sign says boat tours.
If I go out, I want to come back. I took those other guys too, and I'm not going back. You must be mad to want to go there. I still have some years to enjoy in this life.
The professor and his assistant? You've got to tell me what happened to them.
Stubborn like you. They went out there, and there they disappeared, swallowed by the sea. Good for them. You want the same end? Have a nice trip. I'll stay home.
Listen, Chief, I've got to go there. I've got money, all the money you want.
It's simple. I'm not going there. There's stuff you can't buy with money.
With what then?
There's only one way to go there.
How?
With old tweezers. With old tweezers, you can sail through a hurricane.
Tweezers? Who's that?
Tweezers is not a guy. Tweezers is my good luck white crab. I lost him. Without tweezers, I won't do anything.
Listen, Chief, if I find your tweezers, you will take me there, all right?
You'll never find tweezers. If tweezers hasn't come back yet, it means that he's dead. Or he's been kidnapped. I told you once and I'll tell you again. Without tweezers, I don't go anywhere. I'm going to just sit here and ponder life.
Get ready to leave. I'll see you in an hour with tweezers.
Wait, let me give you this. It's his favorite food. Poor little thing, he must be starving.
What a delicacy. For crabs, it smells all fishy. There are dead insects trapped and stuck to the tree. It's impossible to hold it with my bare hands. Yuck! It's as sticky as glue.
Hi, Judith. It's me again. Can you tell me if there's an area with a lot of crabs on this island?
Try over there near the bungalow. There's a little isolated beach.
Snappy little things, crabs. Oh no! It's gone under there! The little monster. That's not helping me at all. Let's try another way. Yes! I've got you now.
I'm glad this isn't trying to pinch me. It's gone all quiet. Hi, Aunt Judith. Here I am again. Can you do something for me? You see this crab? Could you paint it white?
Ain't it white? Oh, sure. What I really need is a little drop of rum.
At your age, Aunt Judith, you really shouldn't drink.
Tut, tut, tut. You don't want to challenge old Aunt Judith as far as rum is concerned. But listen, dear. I've been raised on rum, and with rum they'll bless me at my funeral. Give me the bottle, and I'll paint that crab paisley if you want. just what I needed. Give it to me. I've painted on canvas, bricks, and even on people before, but never a crab. Here we go, brand new. Leave me now. I've just had a flash of inspiration.
And I have no rum left. But I've got a new and improved tweezers. Let's go.
Here's Tweezers the second. I'm sure one white crab looks the same as another.
Here I am again, and this time I'm not alone.
Oh, Tweezers, my friend! Where have you been? What are you waiting for, kid? Quick, let's go!
Professor got here in this thing, but now it's flooded. It says, "Attention! Open only in case of emergency." This appears to be the black box recorder. I'll take it with me. I'm sure the editor will know how to use it. I'm curious to see what's on the other side. Can't push it open, and I don't see anything that can. Something tells me this thing can open the portal. There's some kind of icon, too. There is a small slot here. Could this be for some kind of key? Metal net. It looks very strong.
Hey! Hey, what are you doing, boy?
Well, I was looking at this beautiful net. Very strong, isn't it?
Right. Leave it alone. I don't want it stolen.
Stolen? Is there a thief around here? Good to know. Nowadays, you can't trust anybody.
Right. A cheap thief who wants to take advantage of a poor, harmless, retired sailor.
You're absolutely right. What do you think about, I don't know, perhaps, maybe putting down that thing? I don't know why, but it makes me nervous.
You're making me nervous, boy. What are you looking for?
To tell you the truth, your net is really beautiful. Would you mind lending it to me for a while? I need to take care of a little matter around the corner, and then I'll bring it back.
Never! With this net, I captured a wild shark mincer when I was only 13. All the Caribbean islands still talk about that. And with this net, I make a little money showing it to the tourists passing by.
Remarkable, really. But I promise you, it's only going to take me a few minutes.
I don't know why, but my index finger is itchy.
Okay, I've got the message. I'm going.
Good, and be quick about it.
This is the black box of the Bathyscaphe. It details the final moments of their voyage.
Hey, Chief, did I promise you results or what?
Good job, Kendall. Did you find the professor?
Well, not quite, but I've got something here that might tell us what became of him.
A black box? Hang on a second. I have just the thing for this. I think this jack here will fit into, yes. Here we go. We're in front of the biggest archaeological discovery of this century. Quick, Helen, let's get on the diving gear and go open that entrance door.
But Professor, how?
With this little thing, dear Helen.
A colored rock?
This isn't a rock, but a key conceived by a technology superior to ours.
Hey, Professor, ain't that the thing we found underneath that pile of bricks?
That was no pile of bricks, Simon, but the remains of the deconsecrated Church of St. Theodore in the English county of Avon. Thanks to many years of patient research, I managed to find that abandoned church and a secret that was for centuries hidden behind those sacred walls. Yeah. And now you're wasting time telling us how you did it. Come on, let's go. The sub has been damaged by the crash, and it's starting to take on water. This time I agree, Blower. Everybody ready? Come on, let's get out of here. Interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting? I risked my life diving the depths of the ocean to get that, and all you say is interesting?
Tell me, Kendall, what else did you find there?
Not a lot. An abandoned sub and a gigantic stone portal in the rock.
Come on, Kendall, don't you understand yet? You need to do an inspection of that church mentioned by the professor. Maybe you'll find other clues there to help us find out what's behind his disappearance.
Don't tell me I've got to leave again.
Straight away. I'd really like to go in your place, Kendall, but see, I have to work on this piece about dead languages. Great fun for a connoisseur, but you...
Don't tell me. I wouldn't appreciate it. Okay, I'm out of here.